G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. I got a movie for you, it's called Who's Your Biggest Troll? Good question, isn't it? I don't have too much trouble with trolls. The reason I don't have too much trouble with trolls is because I'm on YouTube Mobile. YouTube Mobile means I don't have a block button, I don't have a delete button, I don't have a reply button, and I haven't got a comments pending option. Okay? The only thing that happens when I hit the delete button is I can take something out of my inbox before I have read it. How can you decide if you want to delete something until after you've read it? Therefore, I effectively have no ability to delete. So I regard anybody who's capable of deleting, who uses the facility to try and edit their conversations with me on their threads, as being fairly pathetic. You know, it's like somebody who brings a gun to a knife fight. And I'm a pacifist and a vegetarian, so it's not even a fucking knife fight, it's a discussion. And some arsehole comes in there and says, "Oh, I can't cope with you, I'm going to block you. You're saying shit I don't want to think about." Well, I can't do it, so I don't think anybody should be allowed to do it. Yeah? I mean, it's really simple fucking prejudice, isn't it? I can't do it, so you shouldn't be allowed to. But there are people who block and they delete and they pend and they come up with all kinds of justifications for why they should be allowed to preach to the choir and plastically manipulate the apparent facade, you know, thin plastic pretend view that anybody else gets of their YouTube channel. And one of the people who's been defending the practice of blocking is the person whose movie, Who's Your Biggest Troll, TJAE1, really kind of caught my interest this afternoon, because TJAE1 in 2 years is pretty much, you know, my biggest troll. There have been people who were more intense, there have been people who were ruder and swore and were much more into ad hominem attacks. But they were generally only ever coming from a single channel, you know, on a single thread. Where's that hair of the dog? Haha, gotcha. Dundee Pale Ale, the killer of the overhang, because last night I went to a rock concert on Waitalabar, the local alternative lifestyle community 50 kilometres away from me, because I live on an endangered species sanctuary. I'm not sociable enough to live on an alternative lifestyle community. And that fact was brought home to me last night while I was down there trying to film, making sure I didn't have anybody in the frame who had not consented to be in the movie. Holding the camera so that the frame was 2 feet overhead, above anybody who I hadn't already asked, "Do you want to be in a YouTube movie?" And I had 11 and a half minutes in the can when 2 members of the Chris Wharton Hate Club, which still there's a few members of, there's more than them, there might be 8 or 10 of them, but there's 150 people on the alternative lifestyle community, and if 8 or 10 of them think that you're an arsehole, it's not actually too bad, you know. Doesn't mean you're an arsehole if only 8 or 10 out of 150 think you're a jerk. So I don't really worry about the Chris Wharton Hate Club on Waitalabar. But there I was standing on the veranda, and I was trying to do a 360-degree pirouette, showing the lighting effects on the inside of the ceiling so that I wouldn't be putting people in the movie who I was absolutely aware they didn't want to be in my YouTube movie, so I was making sure their head didn't get in it, even on night camera at 5 frames per second. But, you know, being happily pissy drunk, it was a bit of a surprise when I got tackled and knocked to the ground and lost the camera. And my passive-aggressive potlatch response was to go over to the buffhead who put the stick of ginger up the arse of the fella who hasn't really been responsible for his actions since he wrote God on his driver's licence and got sent to the home for the bewildered for stabbing his neighbour's dogs. Because that was the guy who tackled me and knocked the camera out of my hand and fucked the first 11-minute movie. And I wandered off, and I had consultations with 7 or 9 of the different tribal elders, and they all come to the conclusion that I wasn't actually doing anything wrong, and yes, recharge your phone and have another go at shooting the movie. And I had another go, but like the moon was looking 30 or 40 degrees higher in the sky, and the lighting was not as good. The music playing wasn't as good, which the band won't want to hear. And yeah, I was in a totally different mood, like I wasn't thinking Yahoo, yippee, hippie, happy community. I was thinking, I'll fucking make this movie in spite of you, you assholes. So it turned out to be a piece of shit, and I don't think I'll uploaded it. But it means that I got home at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I've been really sleep deprived and tired and overhung all day, and coming onto my YouTube channel and finding that I've got this TJAE1 who wants to fucking argue that it's perfectly okay for him to try and manipulate my use of the YouTube so that I'll run around and send fucking opinions to him about shit that I'm not interested in. Like the difference between Joshua and Yahshua and Gary Adin-Mendham in terms of how not polite they are at blocking him or not blocking him. And in case anybody thinks I'm dreaming up a storm in a teacup, well, fucking let's have a look at the message from TJAE1, who refused to stop sending me clips of Gary when, I don't watch the guy because I don't really want to know. I'm not subscribed to him. I'm not interested in seeing what Gary's said most recently. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I know that he's got a low opinion of me and that's his entitlement, but it doesn't mean I have to fucking watch it and try and refute it, or give a shit about it, or have any kind of blood pressure response about it. So, here's the message from TJAE1, my biggest fucking troll, Malt Liquor Video Dundee Pale Ale, and this is the 4th one for the day. Let's see what he sent me that gave me the shits to the point where I won't answer his PMs because I only get 10 outgoing PMs a day, and if I use more than 10, the window freezes for 25 hours since the last time I tried to use it. I'm not going to jeopardise my ability to communicate with the globe for the fucking ego of TJAE1, my biggest troll. Okay. Inbox from TJAE1. See if I can get you a better view of it. No, it's not going to be any fucking better. I'm just going to have to read it to you. Date, 23rd of the 5th, 2013. TJAE1 sent you a video. Capital YAH, capital S, lowercase servant, 7777, kiss and tell secret love life exposed. Why the fuck would I want to look at that? Message, are these groups more interconnected and less disconnected than they claim? Please feedback. The following YouTube names are enemies of all that is good and holy and consist of Satanists, occultists, witches and character assassins posing as Christians that have targeted Almighty Wind Ministry with senseless assaults, horrendous propaganda, hate campaigns, slanderous lies and harassment. Pastor George Eck, Lift A Loft, a.k.a. Rob Red Skew. Bruce Bricker, a.k.a. The Ninth Commandment, a.k.a. Starfish Zombie. T.J. Brook 88, a.k.a. MSTJ Brook, a.k.a. Karen A. Connie. D.R. Russell, a.k.a. Darlene Russell, Saved by Jesus Blood, a.k.a. Jesus Loves Roger. Neff Tali 1981, a.k.a. Tali for God. M. Love Christ, a.k.a. Molly Love Violet Kitty 411. Child of Yah VH, a.k.a. Barbara Pothead, Thick Shades Marijuana Addict, Thick Shades Response, Satanist, Thick Shades Raw Stalker, Thick Shades O, Troll, Thick Shades Com, Druggy, Thick Shades Report, Harasser, Thick Shades 1, a.k.a. Dot Mighty Wind, a.k.a. LO Mighty Wind, aka Lol Mighty Wind, aka Der Mighty Wind, Shock of Christ, Lost and Found Her, K Cog, Lacey Bunny, the Kathleen Bean, aka Wisdom Hunter, 93, Donny 71954, Crossway Yoyok, Troll Mimic Axe Resurrected, Stalker Mimic Axe Bastards, Harasser, Why Guilty Conscience, Gluteus Illuminatus, aka the Gluteus of Wrath, aka the Gluteus of Love, Inventor Iller Ashley Dakota, ... These are all enemies of Yah. Please do not visit their channels or watch their videos for your own spiritual well-being, as these are people demonized and driven by Satan to attack Almighty Wind Ministry. May Yahshua's true sheep and lambs be blessed by Almighty Wind Ministry's videos, teachings, and the prophecies spoken through Prophet Elizabeth Elijah, Yah's Lady in Red. Yah Servant, Kiss and Tell, Secret Love Life Exposed. Okay. So here's the deal. 602 subscribers of Warbles on a lot. If you should ever get any message from TJAE1, it's a fucking Jesusite, Christianish troll from a schismatic splinter group with probably 100 people all over the planet who think that they mean something real in the actual world. And everybody else, all 7 billion of us, think they're up a fucking gum tree, you know? Trying to fuck a knothole thinking that it's a goanna's ass. The idea that anybody in 2013 can tell you or me or anybody else what anybody meant by what they are reputed to have said 2,000 or 3,000 years ago in ancient goat herderish, which has been written down in Aramaic, which has been translated to ancient Greek, which has been prayed over in the 1600s by fucking English Protestants to become the King James edition of the Bible, which has been spread by the sword of the Lord 3 or 4 times across the fucking face of Europe, and that was before submachine guns picked it up and took it across the rest of the world. And they think they can tell me what the creator of the universe has in mind as a plan for life in the universe, based on what that 67,000 times retold bullshit story has to say about what a goat herder thought the fucking God theory had to say to him 3,000 years ago, and they think that's better than listening to their own conscience, their own personal connection to the creator. They don't want to let anybody listen to their own connection to the creator because they want to fucking franchise the connection to the buffhead 3,000 years ago who thought he knew what he was talking about. Fuck Yah. Fuck Yeshua. Fuck the whole lot of them. I'm not interested. I am not a Christian. My name is Chris. It's like somebody called Harry being asked to join the fucking Harry Krishnas. It does not compute. It's bullshit. I try to be a faithist. I have faith that the creator of the universe is not a fuckwit. You know, like butterflies work really good. The continuous hydrogen fusion reaction, 93 million miles away on the other side of the clearing, going down behind the fucking trees on the other side of the pyramid. Do you see anything on the engine controls of that allows me or any other bloody half-wit Homo sapiens, you know, like, what's that? The monkey that thinks it thinks. Yeah? And by the way, TJAE1, see that? That's the Tower of Power, munchkins. That makes me maybe 25 amp hours a day that I can kind of rely on, and if it doesn't happen, you know, and gets below 15 amp hours a day for 2 days in a row, then I get to use the generator as a backup. And there's no fucking way I am interested at all whatsoever in purchasing a laptop which is going to suck 96 amp hours at 12 volts out of my batteries to run the inverter, to run the power supply for the laptop, because a mobile phone will do it for half an amp. I haven't got 12 times the money for a solar standalone system 12 times the size, so I can have a laptop so that you can fucking send me shit and I can send you shit to your personal satisfaction. TJAE1, you are my biggest troll. If you unsubscribe and if all of your friends unsubscribe, I won't be fucking upset at all. I'm not in this to try and have a flame war or win a flame war. I'm just being me. And as far as I'm concerned, you are stuck in Christianity and therefore you are not fucking interesting, because no Christian city has been raised anywhere on the face of the earth that has a different crime rate to any Muslim city or any Jewish city or any Confucian city or any Buddhist city or any Brahmin city or any Jainish city. Christianity is fail as far as I am concerned. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. TJAE1 is my biggest troll. Ciao.